Hey y'all, I am so tired. So tired. Ooh. But I was just watching a movie on Netflix. It was about oh, have y'all seen the documentary of Sam Cooke? I knew he was a singer, but I did not know that he was, involved in civil rights and had a passion for it. And I did not even know that he was one that sung the song A Change Is Gonna Come. I probably shouldn't even let y'all know that, but I didn't even know that. But I've heard of Sam Cooke and I knew he was a singer, but I never knew about his life. But if y'all want to go on Netflix, his documentary of his life was on Netflix and it was really good. So after I watched that, I watched also um the story about the volcano. I like to watch documentaries, true events and stuff about the volcano where I think 22 people had lost their lives. People would go and visit this island where the volcanoes would erupt, would be. Just to, I mean, me, I would never visit a island. I would never visit a volcano. I mean, that's just me. But a lot of people are intrigued. A lot of people, they just got to test everything. But they just some places you just don't go. You know what I'm saying? I would never go to a place when I would have seen that steam, you could see the steam coming from the island where the volcano is. You could see that when I would have seen that steam, that would have been my cue not to even go, but I wouldn't have went anyway. I wouldn't even really have to see no sting, because they just some places, like I don't go to certain stores at night because there's some places you don't need to be. But anyway, a lot of people are intrigued. A lot of people like a thrill. A lot of people like that kind of stuff, so they go and do stuff like that. But them people walking on that island, and I forgot the Wicca something. I forgot the name of it, but the water was bubbling, the steam was coming, just a whole bunch of stuff was going on, honey. But like I said, to each his own. If you want to be adventurous, go be adventurous. But there's some adventures I just can't do. But my whole thing is, I forgot how many people literally actually went, but I know 22 people lost their lives. May their souls continue to rest. But the thing is, they were, doing a documentary and talking to the people that survived. These folks was on the island when the volcano erupted. They were burned severely bad. Had some terrible injuries. Some one man he had to stay in the hospital for a whole year to get through all his surgeries and stuff. I mean, their bodies was really burned, but they survived. And they were sharing their story about how they survived. But the thing that got me, y'all, these folk didn't tell God thank you. Nobody said, when they was doing the interview now. I don't know what they did in their private time, but on the interview, nobody said, I just want to thank God for bringing me through. That's what I would have said. I would have had to give God the glory because it won't nobody but God. But that's why I said, my God, I said, not one of those survivors gave God the glory. Not one of them said, Lord, I thank you. You allow me. I was on the island, Lord, when the volcano erupted and I survived. God, I just want to tell you thank you. They didn't even, not one of them gave God a credit. Not one of them honored him and thanked him for surviving. Not one. I said, my God, what is that? But some people, they just, and some people, when situations like that happen, they don't even think God got nothing to do with it. So they might have been that type of people. But one lady did, she said this here, she said she was in so much pain that she said, I'm not a religious person. She said, but I was in so much pain. She said, I asked God to just go ahead and end my life. That's what she said. But God didn't. God spared her. And she come out all right, her and her husband. I mean, I just don't understand that. People can go through extreme. You know it had to be the good Lord, girl, that let you live. You were the volcano erupted with you on it. You experienced the burn. You experienced the suffer. All the ash. God allowed people to be able to go in and help rescue, get you there. Some of y'all passed out, didn't even know, you had just passed out. But yet and still you woke up on this side. Yet and still you're still here. But not one of them honored God in those interviews. That would have been the first thing I said, honey. Thank you for this interview. I'm so glad y'all doing this documentary. But before I say anything, I just want to tell God thank you. I just want to tell God thank. Honey, I would have, ooh, but not one of them people gave God any credit for allowing them to survive. Not one. Not one. Thank you, Jesus. 3 words. They didn't find it nowhere in the interview to say. Thank you, Jesus. I just don't understand that. I just don't. But God is gracious. See how he still loves us? Even when he bring us through stuff and we still don't honor him or acknowledge him, you know, he's still gracious. But my Lord. But anyway, I can't think of the name of that. I'll try to put it down in the comment section if I can think of that name of that um documentary I just watched about that volcano erupting. But like I said, they just some places you just don't need to go, honey. I know I'm not going to no place where they talking about, and it looked like every 3 years there was an eruption, and that was the third year because the lady had asked that question. She was asking when was the last time it erupted. There's some place you just don't need to go. But people want to go. They want to go to the bottom of the ocean. They want to go to the moon and the stars. They want to go visit places where volcanoes erupt. There's some places you just don't want to go. You want to go out at night and shop. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You don't do that, honey. No, but anyway, like I said, mm-mm. But it just sat in my heart that nobody told God thank you. Nobody. Nobody said, God, I thank you for sparing my life. Nobody said that. And that's the first thing I thought about. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Toodles.